अपोपस्पृश्यात्। ओम अच्युताय नमः। ओम अनंताय नमः। ओम गोविंदाय नमः। उपस्पृश्यात्। ओम शुभं करोति कल्याणं आयु आरोग्य संपदा शत्रु बुद्धि विनाशाय दीप ज्योतिर्नमोस्तुते। दीपदेवी नमो नमः। ओम आगमार्थं तु देवानां गमनार्थं तु रक्षसां कुर्वे गन्तारवं तत्र देवताह्वानलाञ्छनं कंठस्थिताय गरुडाय नमः। हस्ते पुष्पं गृहीत्वा अथ संकल्प। ओम शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। प्राणनायम्य। ओम भूः ओम तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्ग देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। आपो ज्योतिरसोऽमृतं ब्रह्म भूर्भुवस्वरों तरेव लग्नं सुदिनं तरेव ताराबलं चन्द्रबलं तरेव विद्याबलं देवबलं तरेव लक्ष्मीपते गौरीपते त्यङ्घ्रीगं स्मरामि। शुभे शोभने मुहूर्ते द्वितीय परार्धे श्वेतवराहकल्पे सप्तमे वायुवस्वत्मन्वन्तरे अष्टाविंशतितमे कलियुगे कलिप्रथम चरणे भूर्लोकान्तर्गत उत्तर अमेरिका खंडे कैनेडा देशे एजाक्स नगरे संकटमोचन श्री हनुमान मंदिरे शुभे दिन शोभने मुहूर्ते येषां यजमानानां टेक योर नेम्स प्लीज। येषां यजमानानां लोकाः समस्ताः क्षेमस्थैर्य धैर्य वीर्य विजय आयु आरोग्यमैश्वर्याभिवृद्ध्यर्थं समस्त मंगलावाप्त्यर्थं समस्त दुरितोपशान्त्यर्थं चिंतित मनोरथवाप्त्यर्थं सर्वाभीष सिद्ध्यर्थं सर्वारिष्टशान्त्यर्थं श्री सीता लक्ष्मण भरत शत्रुघ्न हनुमत समेत श्री रामचंद्र प्रीत्यर्थं श्री वीर हनुमत प्रीत्यर्थं धर्मार्थ कामोक्षं चतुर्विध पुरुषार्थ सिद्ध्यर्थं अद्य अहं महागणपति पूजनम श्री दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती पूजनम श्री सीता लक्ष्मण भरत शत्रुघ्न हनुमत समेत श्री रामचंद्र पूजनम हनुमत पूजनम राधा कृष्ण चंद्र पूजनम सदाशिवलिंगाभिषेकाराधनं च करिष्ये इति संकल्प्य अपोपस्पृश्यात्। श्री गणेश ध्यानम्। ओम गणानां त्वा गणपतिगो हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत न शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ओम श्रीमन्महागणाधिपतये नमः। ध्यायामि आवाहयामि पुष्पासनं च समर्पयामि पादयोः पाद्यं समर्पयामि अर्घ्यमाचमनीयं शरीरे स्नानं समर्पयामि। ओं भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षवीर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्र वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तारिक्षो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। अर्चना। ओम सुमुखाय नमः। ओम एकदन्ताय नमः। ओम कपिलाय नमः। ओम गजकर्णकाय नमः। ओम लंबोदराय नमः। ओम विकटाय नमः। ओम विनायकाय नमः। ओम धूम्रकेतवे नमः। ओम गणाध्यक्षाय नमः। ओम फालचंद्राय नमः। ओम गजाननाय नमः। ओम वक्रतुंडाय नमः। ओम हेरंभाय नमः। ओम स्कंदपूर्वजाय नमः। नानाविध परिमलपत्र पुष्पाणि समर्पयामि। धूपदीप महानैवेद्यं। ओम नमस्ते गणपते त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं धर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं हर्तासि त्वमेव सर्वं खल्विदं ब्रह्मासि त्वं साक्षारात्मासि नित्यं ऋतं वच्मि सत्यं वच्मि अव त्वं माम् अववक्तारम् अवश्रोतारम् अवदातारम् अवधातारम् अवानुचानो शिष्यम् अवपुरस्तात् अवोत्तरातात् अवचोर्ध्वातात् अवाधरातात् सर्वतो मां पाहि पाहि समन्तात् त्वं वाङ्मयस्त्वं चिन्मयः त्वमानन्दमयस्त्वं ब्रह्ममयः त्वं सच्चिदानन्दाद्वितीयोऽसि त्वं प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वं ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयोऽसि। महागणपते नमः। श्री गणेश प्रार्थना।
ओम वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ओम एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्तिः प्रचोदयात्। मूषिकवाहनमोदकहस्ते चामरकर्णविलम्बितसूत्र वामनरूपमहेश्वरपुत्र विघ्नविनायकपाद
नमस्ते। गजाननं
भूतगणाधिसेवितं कपित्तजम्बूफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारकं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपारपङ्कजम्।
श्रीमन्महागणाधिपतये नमः। अथ श्री गणेश पंचरत्न स्तोत्रम्।
ॐ मुदाकरात् मोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकं कराधरावतं सकं विलासिलोकरक्षकम् अनायकैकनायकं विनाशिते वदैत्यकम् नताशुभाशुनाशकं नमामि तं विनायकम्। न ते तरातिभीकरं न वोदितार्कभास्वरं न मत्सुरारिनिर्जरं न ताधिकापदुद्धरम्। सुरेश्वरं निधीश्वरं गजेश्वरं गणेश्वरम् महेश्वरं तमाश्रये परात्परं निरन्तरम्। समस्तलोकशङ्करं निरस्तदैत्यकुञ्जरं दरेदरोदरं वरं वरे भवक्रमक्षरम्। कृपाकरं क्षमाकरं मुदाकरं यशस्करं मनस्करं नमस्कृतां नमस्करोमि भास्वरम्। अकिञ्चनार्तिमार्जनं चिरन्तनोक्तिभाजनं पुरारिपूर्वनन्दनं सुरारिगर्वचर्वणम्। प्रपञ्चनाशभीषणं धनञ्जयादिभूषणम् कपोलदानवारणं भजे पुराणवारणम्। नितान्तकान्तदन्तकान्तिमन्तकान्तकात्मजम् अचिन्त्यरूपमन्तहीनमन्तराय कृन्तनम्। हृदन्तरे निरन्तरं वसन्तमेव योगिनाम् तमेकरन्तमेव तं विचिन्तयामि सन्ततम्। महागणेश पञ्चरत्नमाधरेण योऽन्वहं प्रजल्पति प्रभाते हृदि स्मरं गणेश्वरम् आरोग्यतां दोषतां सुसाहितीं सुपुत्रतां समाहितायुरष्टभूतिमभ्युपैति सोचिरात् श्रीमन्महागणाधिपतये नमः वेदोत्तरमन्त्रपुष्पाञ्जलिं समर्पयामि।
बोलिए गणेश भगवान की जय। श्री दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती पूजनो महादेवी नमो नमः। श्री दुर्गा देवी ध्यानं पुष्पं गृहीत्वा ओम विद्युतां समप्रभामृगपतिस्कन्धस्थिताभीषणां कन्याभिकरवालकेतविलसत्स्थस्ताभिरासेवितां हस्ते चक्रगदे शिखेतविशिखां श्चापं गुणं तर्जनीं बिभ्राणामनलात्मिकां शशिधरां दुर्गां त्रिनेत्रां भजे। श्री दुर्गा देवी नमः ध्यायामि आवाहयामि। जगदम्बायै नमः महालक्ष्म्यै नमो नमः ध्यानम्। ॐ हिरण्यवर्णां हरिणीं सुवर्णरजतस्रजां चन्द्रां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावः महालक्ष्म्यै नमः ध्यायामि आवाहयामि आसनं च समर्पयामि। ॐ मेधा देवी जुषमाणा नागाद्विश्वाची भद्रसुमनस्य माना महासरस्वत्यै नमः ध्यायामि आवाहयामि आसनं च समर्पयामि। दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वतीभ्यः ॐ जातवेदसे सुनवाम सोममराति यतो निरहाति वेदः सनः परशरति दुर्गानि विश्वा नावेव सिन्धुन्दुरतात्यग्निः तामग्निवर्णां तपसा ज्वलन्तीं वैरोचनीं कर्मफलेषु जुष्टां दुर्गां देवीं शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। सुतरसे तरसे नमः अग्ने त्वं पारयानव्यो अस्मान् स्वस्तिभिरति दुर्गानि विश्वा पुष्यवितवि बहुलानुर्वि भवातु कायतनयाय संयोः विश्वानि नो दुर्गः जातवेदस्सिन्धुन्ननावादुरितातिपरिषि अग्नेयत्रुवन्मनसा गणानोऽस्माकं बोध्यविता तनूनां पृतनाचितकं सहमानमुग्रमग्निगं हुवेम परमासरस्तात् सनः परशरति दुर्गानि विश्वाक्षां मध्येवति दुरितात्यग्निः प्रत्नोषि गमीद्योत्परेषु सनच्च होतानप्यश्च सत्से स्वाञ्चाग्ने तनुवं पिप्रयस्वास्मभ्यञ्च सौभगमायजस्व गोभिर्जुष्टमयिजो निषिक्तं तवे इन्द्रविष्णोरनुसञ्चरेम नाकस्य पृष्ठमविसंवसा नो वैष्णवीं लोकैहमादयन्ताम्। ॐ कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गे प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। अर्चना ओम दुर्गायै नमः, ओम माहेश्वर्यै नमः, ओम शिवप्रियायै नमः, ओम मंदारवासिन्यै नमः, ओम अर्कायै नमः, ओम गिरिसुतायै नमः, ओम धात्र्यै नमः। श्री जगदम्बा दुर्गा देवी नमो नमः। नानाविध परिमलपत्र पुष्पाणि समर्पयामि। ओम प्रकृत्यै नमः, ओम विकृत्यै नमः, ओम महामायायै नमः, ओम धनप्रदान्यै नमः, ओम विष्णुपत्न्यै नमः, ओम कमलवासिन्यै नमः, ओम सर्वायै नमः, ओम श्री महालक्ष्म्यै नमो नमः। नानाविध परिमलपत्र पुष्पाणि समर्पयामि। ओम महासरस्वत्यै नमः, ओम वीणाधारिण्यै नमः, ओम चतुरानन्दवल्लभायै नमः, ओम ज्ञानप्रदायिन्यै नमः, ओम यशप्रदायिन्यै नमः, ओम श्रीप्रदायिन्यै नमः, ओम महावाणी नमो नमः। नानाविधपरिमलपत्रपुष्पाणि समर्पयामि। धूपदीपमहानैवेद्यम्। ओम आर्द्रां पुष्करिणीं पुष्टिं सुवर्णां हेममालिनीं सूर्यां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावः। श्री दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वतीभ्यः सुगन्धधूपमाघ्रापयामि। धूपानन्तरमिरमाचमनीयं च समर्पयामि। महादेवी नमो नमः। ॐ आर्द्रां यक्कर्णीमिष्टिं पिङ्गलां पद्ममालिनीं चन्द्रां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावः। श्रीजगदम्बायै नमो नमः। दुर्गादेव्यै नमः। महालक्ष्म्यै नमः। महासरस्वत्यै नमो नमः। दिव्यमङ्गलदीपं दर्शयामि। दीपानन्तरमिदमाचमनीयं समर्पयामि। नैवेद्यम्। ॐ अन्नपूर्णे सदा पूर्णे शङ्करप्राणवल्लभे ज्ञानवैराग्यसिद्ध्यर्थं भिक्षां देहि च पार्वतीं। भिक्षां देहि च पार्वतीं। भिक्षां देहि च पार्वतीं। श्री दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती महानैवेद्यं समर्पयामि। ताम्बूलानि च निवेदयामि। जगदम्बायै नमो नमः। ॐ शरणागत दीनार्त परित्राणपरायणे सर्वस्यार्ति हरे देवी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। जगदम्बायै नमो नमः। समस्तोपचारान् समर्पयामि। अथ सिद्ध कुंजिका स्तोत्रम। We conclude puja to the Divine Mother with Kunjika Stotram from Durga Saptashati. Om Shiva Uvac.
शृणु देवी प्रवक्ष्यामि कुञ्जिकास्तोत्रमुत्तमं येन मन्त्रप्रभावेन चण्डीजापशुभोद्भवेत्। न कवचं नार्गलास्तोत्रं कीलकं न रहस्यकं न सूक्तं नापि ध्यानं च न न्यासो न च वार्चनं। कुञ्जिकापाठमात्रेण दुर्गा पाठफलं लभेत्। अधिगुह्यतरं देवी देवानामपि दुर्लभं। गोपनीयं प्रयत्नेन स्वयोनिरेव पार्वती। मारणं मोहनं वश्यं स्तम्भन उच्चाटनाधिकं। पातमात्रेण संसिद्ध्येत कुञ्जिकास्तोत्रमुत्तमम्। अथ मन्त्रः। ॐ ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डायै विच्चे। ॐ ग्लौं हूं क्लीं जं सः ज्वालय ज्वालय ज्वल ज्वल प्रज्वल प्रज्वल। ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डायै विच्चे। ज्वलहं जं लं क्षं पत् स्वाहा इति मन्त्रः। नमस्ते रुद्ररूपिण्यै नमस्ते मधुमर्दिनि नमः कैटभहारिण्यै नमस्ते महिषार्दिनि नमस्ते शुम्भहन्त्रे च निशुम्भासुरघातिनि। जागृतं हि महादेवी जपं सिद्धं कुरुष्व मे। ऐंकारी सृष्टिरूपायै ह्रीं काली प्रतिपालिका क्लीं काली कामरूपिण्यै बीजरूपे नमोऽस्तुते। चामुण्डा चण्डघाती च यैकारी वरदायिनी विच्चे चाभयदा नित्यं नमस्ते मन्त्ररूपिणी। धां धीं धुं दुर्जते पत्नीं वां विं वुं वागरीश्वरी। क्रां क्रीं क्रूं कालिका देवी शां शिं शुं मे शुभं कुरु। हुम हुम हुंकार रूपिण्यै जम 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 बनादिनी भ्रां भ्रीं भ्रूं भैरवी भद्रे भवान्यै ते नमो नमः अं कं चं तं तं पं यं शं विं दुं ऐं विं हं क्षं धिजाग्रद् दीप्तं गुरु गुरु स्वाहा पां पिं पुं पार्वती पूर्ण खां खिं खुं खेचरी तथा सां सीं सुं
सप्तशती
दिव्य मंत्रसिद्धिं कुरुष्व मे
इदं तु
कुञ्जिका स्तोत्रं मन्त्रजागार्ति हेतवे अभक्तेनैव दातव्यं गोपितं रक्ष पार्वती यस्तु कुञ्जिकया देवी हीनां सप्तशतीं पठेत्
न तस्य जायते सिद्धिररण्ये रोदनं यथा
इति श्रीरुद्रयामले गौरीतन्त्रेषु पार्वती संवारे कुञ्जिका स्तोत्रं सम्पूर्णम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
बोलिए जगदम्बे मैया की जय। श्री राम जय जय राम। कंtemplatem भगवान श्री राम। ओम वैदेही सहितं सुरद्रुमतले हैमे महामण्डपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने मणिमये वीरासने संस्थितम् अग्रे वाचयति प्रभञ्जनसुते तत्त्वमुनिभ्यः परं व्याख्यान्तं भरतादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामलं श्री सीता लक्ष्मण भरत शत्रुघ्न हनुमत समेत श्री रामचंद्राय नमः। हनुमते नमः। ध्यायामि आवाहयामि पुष्पासनं समर्पयामि। वीर हनुमध्यानम्। ॐ उल्लङ्घ्य सिन्धो सलिलं सलीलं यः शोकवहिं जनकात्मजायाः आदाय तेनैव ददाह लङ्कां नमामि तं प्राञ्जलिराञ्जनेयं श्री आञ्जनेयाय नमो नमः। ध्यायामि आवाहयामि पुष्पासनं च समर्पयामि। पंचमुखी हनुमते नमः। रामचंद्रमूर्ते नमः। श्री हनुमरस्त्राय नमो नमः। ओम यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपरक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगा ध्यानावस्थिततर्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। श्री राधा कृष्णाभ्यां नमः। ध्यायामि आवाहयामि पुष्पासनं समर्पयामि। ओम कौशल्या सुप्रजा रामपूर्वा संध्या प्रवर्तते उत्तिष्ठ नरशार्दूल कर्तव्यं दैवमानिकम् उत्तिष्ठोत्तिष्ठ गोविन्द उत्तिष्ठ गरुडध्वज उत्तिष्ठ कमलाकान्ता त्रैलोक्यं मङ्गलं कुरु त्रैलोक्यं मङ्गलं कुरु त्रैलोक्यं मङ्गलं कुरु। ओम अथ पाद्यं ओम सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः सहस्राक्ष सहस्रपात् स भूमिं विश्वतो वृत्वा अत्यतिष्ठद्दशाङ्गुलं पुरुष एवेदकं सर्वं यद्भूतं यच्च भव्यं उतामृतत्वशेषानः यदन्येनातिरोहति एतावानस्य महिमा अतो जायागश्च पूरुषः पादोऽस्य विश्वा भूतानि त्रिपादस्यामृतं दिवि त्रिपादोर्धौ दैत्पुरुषः पादोऽस्येह भवात् पुनः ततो विश्वं व्यक्रामत् शासनान् शने अभि तस्मात् विराजजायत विराजो अधिपूरुषः स जातो अत्यरिच्यत पश्चात् भूमिमथो पुरः यत्पुरुषेण हविषा देवा यज्ञमतन्वत वसन्तोऽस्य सीदाजं ग्रीष्म इद्मशरद्भिः सप्तास्यासन् परिदयः त्रिसप्तसमिधः कृताः देवा यत्यज्ञन्तन्वानाः अवदन् पुरुषं पशं तं यज्ञं वरहिषि प्रोक्षन् पुरुषं जातमकृतः तेन देवा अयजन्त साध्या ऋषयश्चे अर्चना। ओम रामाय नमः। ओम रघुनाथाय नमः। ओम नाथाय नमः। ओम सीतापतये नमः। ओम दशरथनंदनाय नमः। ओम परब्रह्मणे नमः। ओम ईश्वराय नमः। ओम श्री रामचंद्रमूर्तये नमः। सीतादेव्यै नमः। लक्ष्मणाय नमः। श्री हनुमते नमः। नानाविध परिमलपत्र पुष्पाणि समर्पयामि। ओम हं हनुमते नमः। ओम आंजनेयाय नमः। ओम महाबलाय नमः। ओम जानकी शोक निवारणाय नमः। ओम वीरवीराय नमः। ओम महावीराय नमः। ओम अतिवीराय नमः। ओम प्लवंगाय नमः। ओम अर्जुन मित्राय नमः। नानाविध परिमलपत्र पुष्पाणि समर्पयामि। ओम कृष्णाय नमः। ओम गोपीजनवल्लभाय नमः। ओम कमलानाथाय नमः। ओम वासुदेवाय नमः। ओम दामोदराय नमः। ओम ऋषिकेशाय नमः। ओम राधावल्लभाय नमः। ओम श्री कृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। ओम राधा देवी नमो नमः। नानाविध परिमलपत्र पुष्पाणि समर्पयामि। ओम सत्यनारायणाय नमः। ओम बालकृष्णाय नमः। ओम वेंकटेशाय नमः। ओम श्री चक्रराजराजेश्वर्यै नमो नमः। समस्तोपचारांच समर्पयामि। नानाविध परिमलपत्र पुष्पाणि समर्पयामि। नैवेद्यम् ओम नाभ्यासीरन्तरिक्षं शीर्ष्णोऽध्यौ समवर्तता पद्भ्यां भूमिश्रोत्रात् तथा लोकागम अकल्पयन् वेदाहमेतं पुरुषं महान्तम् आर्त्यवर्णं तमसस्तु पारे सर्वाणि रूपाणि विचित्य धीरः नामानि कृत्वाभिवरण्यरासेत् धाता पुरस्ताजमुदा जहार शक्रप्रविद्वान् प्ररिशश्चतस्रः धूममाग्रापयामि तमेवं विद्वानमृत इह भवति नान्यपन्था अयनाय विद्यते यज्ञेन यज्ञमयजन्त देवाः तानि धर्माणि वर्तमान्यासन् ते हनाखं महिमा न सचन्ते यत्र पूर्वे साध्या सन्ति देवाः। ॐ दिव्यमङ्गलदीपं दर्शयामि दीपानन्तरमिदमाचमनीयं समर्पयामि नैवेद्यम्। ओम नाभ्यासीरन्तरिक्षं शीर्ष्णोऽध्यौ समवर्तता पद्भ्यां पुंसश्रोत्रात् तथा लोकागम कल्पयन् ओम प्राणे स्वाहा पने स्वाहा व्याने स्वाहा उदाने स्वाहा ब्रह्मणे स्वाहा। श्री परमात्मने नमः। सीता लक्ष्मण भरत शत्रुघ्न हनुमत समेत रामचंद्राय नमः। हनुमते नमः। नैवेद्यं समर्पयामि। श्री वीर हनुमते नमः। नैवेद्यं निवेदयामि। राधा कृष्णाभ्यां नमो नमः। महानैवेद्यं समर्पयामि। श्री कृष्ण परमात्मने नमो नमः। सीता लक्ष्मण भरत शत्रुघ्न हनुमत समेत रामचंद्राय नमः। नैवेद्यं समर्पयामि। प्रार्थना है यही मेरी हनुमान जी, प्रार्थना है यही मेरी हनुमान जी, मेरे सिर पे भी अब हाथ धर दीजिए। प्रार्थना है यही मेरी हनुमान जी, मेरे सिर पे भी अब हाथ धर दीजिए। राम सीता का दर्शन करा के मुझे, राम सीता का दर्शन करा के मुझे, मेरे सपने को साकार कर दीजिए। श्री सीता लक्ष्मण भरत शत्रुघ्न हनुमत समेत रामचंद्राय नमः। श्री हनुमते नमो नमः। हनुमते नमो नमः। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज, निज मन मुकुर सुधारे। बरनौ रघुबर बिमल जसु, जो दायक फल चारि। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके, सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि, हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमत निवार सुमत के संगी। कंचन बरन विराज सुवेशा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे, कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि देखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई। सस बदन तुमरो यश गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्त्र जो जन पर भानु, लियो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका
द्वारे तुम रखवारे, होत न क्या बिन पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज संहारो आपे, तीनों लोक हाँकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा। संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चितना धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई। जो शत बार बात कर कोई, छूट निबंध महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजे नाथ हृदय महडेरा।
पवन तन संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुरभूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, मेरे प्रभु रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय। बोलिए पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति, त्वमेव शरणं मम। तस्मात् कारुण्य भावेन, रक्ष रक्ष हनुमत। रक्ष रक्ष श्री रामचंद्र, रक्ष रक्ष श्री कृष्णचंद्र। अनंत कोटि प्रक्ष नमस्कारांच समर्पयामि। अथ शिव पूजन। श्री सांब परमेश्वर सदाशिवाय नमः। ओम नमः शिवाय देवाय सच्चिदानंदमूर्तये। नमो वेदांत वेद्याय गुरु योगिनां गुरवे नमः। श्रीनाम गुरवे नमः। श्री सांब सदाशिवाय नमो नमः। ओम। Touch different parts of our body as we commence Bhagwan Shiva's puja. We transform our bodies into a mandir and then we'll do abhishekam to him. Om asya Shri Rudradhyaya Prashna Mahamantrasya Aghora Rishi Anushtup Chandaha Sankarshan Sanmurti Yosavaritya Parma Purushasya Rudresha Devata. Om Namah Shivaya Ti Bijam Shivataraya Ti Shaktihi Mahadevaya Ti Kilakam Shri Samba Sadashvi Prasara Siddhyarte Jape Viniyogaha. Om Agni Hotratmani Angushtabhyam Namaha. Om Darsha Purnamasaatmane Tarjanibhyam Namaha. Om Chaturmasyatmane Madhyamabhyam Namaha. Om Nirura Pashubandhatmane Anamikabhyam Namaha. Om Jyotishtomatmane Kanishtikabhyam Namaha. Om Sarakratvatmane Karatal Karaprishtabhyam Namaha. Om Agni Hotratmane Hridayaya Namaha. Om Darsha Purnamasaatmane Shirase Swaha. Om Chaturmasyatmane Shikayai Vashat. Om Nirura Pashubandhatmane Kavachaya Hum. Om Jyotishtomatmane Netratrayaya Vaushat. Om Sarakratvatmane Astraya Phat. Bhurbhuva Swaromiti Digbandha Dhyana. Apatalanabastalantavona Brahmandama Visparat. Jyotispatika Lingamaulivela Satpurnenduvantamritehi. Astoka Plutamikamishamisham Rudranuvakan Japan. Dhyaye Deepsita Siddhaye Dhruvaparam Vipro Vishitchet Shivam. Brahmanda Vyapta Deha Bhasita Himarucha Bhasamana Bhujangaihi. Kanthe Kala Kaparda Kalita Shashikalas Chandakodandasta. Traksha Rudrakshamala Prakatita Bhavasam Bhavamurti Bhedaha. Rudra Shri Rudra Sukta Prakatita Bhavanak Prachantu Saukyam. Om Ganana Tva Ganapatigam Havamahe Kavin Kavina Pamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Nashinvannotibhisi Dasadanam. Om Shri Man Mahaganadipataye Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. Om Namaste Rudramanyavatote Shave Namaha. Namaste Astu Dhanmane Bahubhyam Tate Namaha. Yate Shishivatama Shumbha Bhovate Danoho. Shiva Sharavyaya Tavataya No Rudramidaya. Yate Rudra Shiva Tanura Ghora Papakashini. Taya Nastanava Shantamaya Girishanta Vichakashihi. Yamisham Girishanta Haste Vivarshastave. Shivangiritratam Kurumahigam Shivpurushan Jagat. Shive Navatsa Tva Girishat Chavadamasi. Yatha Nasarvamit Jagate Ekshmagam Sumana Asat. Come for Abhishek. Pratamo Daivya Abhishek. Ahigischa Sarva Anjam Bhayan. Sarva Asayatu Dhanyaha. Asavyastamro Arnautavabhrusumangalaha. Ye Chemagam Rudrabhito Dikshusata Sasrashovai. Shagam Hedai Mahe. Asavyo Sarpati Nilagrivo Vilohitaha. Utainam Gopadr Shandar Shanuraharyaha. Utainam Vishwa Bhuta Nisarustomridayatinaha. Namo Astu Nilagrivaya. Sahasrakshaya Medushe. Atho Yesi Satva Noham Tebhyo Karanamaha. Pramuncha Dhanvanastomvayoratni Orjam. Yasyate Hassa Ishva Parata Bhagavapa. Avatatya Dhanuswagam Sahasrakshasate Shudhe. Nishilya Shalyana Mukha Shivona Sumana Bhava. Ve Jandanukka Parjana Vishalyo Vanavagam Muta. Anesana Seshava Bhurasya Nishangatihi. Yate Hetirmi Dushtamahaste Babhuvate Danuho. Tayasman Vishwatasvam Yakshmaya Paribhuja. Namaste Aswayudhaya Nadata Drishnave. Ubabhyam Tate Namo Bahubhyam Tavadhanvane. Parite Dhanvano Hetirasma Vrinaktu Vishwataha. Atho Shudhistavarya Smannidhehitam. Shambhave Namaha. Shriman Mahadevaya Namo Namaha. Om Namaste Astu Bhagavan Vishweshwaraya Mahadevaya. Trambakaya Triparantakaya Trikalagni Kalaya Kalagni Rudraya. Neelakantaya Mrityunjayaya. Sarveshwaraya Sarashivaya. श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हर हर नमः पार्वती पतये। हर हर महादेव। Singing Ashtakam. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Brahma Murari Surarchit Lingam Nirmal Bhashita Shobhita Lingam Janama Jaruta Vinashak Lingam Tat Pranamami Sada Shivalingam. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Namah Shivaya. Deva Muni Pravara Chitlingam Kamana Karuna Karalingam Ravana Darpa Vinashanalingam Tat Pranamami Sada Shivalingam. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Sarva Sugandhi Sulepit Lingam Buddhi Vivardhana Karanalingam Siddha Surasura Vandit Lingam Tat Pranamami Sada Shivalingam. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Kanaka Mahamani Lingam Panipathiveştit Shobhit Lingam Rakshasuyatya Vinashanalingam Tat Pranamami Sada Shivalingam. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Kumkuma Chandana Lepit Lingam Pankajahara Sushobhita Lingam Sanchita Papa Vinashanalingam Tat Pranamami Sada Shivalingam. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Devaganarchit Sevit Lingam Bhavaya Bhakti Vire Vachalingam Din Kar Koti Prabha कमिनं पुण्यं यः पठे शिव सन्निधौ शिवलोकमवाप्नोति शिवेन सह मोदते। हर हर नमः पार्वती पते हर हर महादेव।
या देवी सर्वभूतेषु तया रूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। ऐसा प्यार बहा दे मैया ऐसा प्यार बहा दे मैया चरणों से लग जाऊं मैं सब अंधकार मिटा दे मैया दर्श तेरा कर पाऊं मैं ऐसा प्यार बहा दे मैया। जग
problem. One of you.
बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। 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 बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। 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 बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। दम 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 डमरू बजावे। दम 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 डमरू बजावे। गुंज उठाओ नमः शिवाय। गुंज उठाओ नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। हरि ओम नमः शिवाय। हरि ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। 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 बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। हर 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 महादेव। हर 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 महादेव। पार्वती शंकर गौरी शिवाय। पार्वती शंकर गौरी शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। हरि ओम नमः शिवाय। हरि ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। 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 बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। हरि 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 बोल। हरि 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 बोल। हरि 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 बोल, हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल। ओम हरि ओम, ओम हरि ओम, ओम हरि ओम। बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय।
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्। अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्। कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं, तू मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं। अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्। कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं, वीर शबरी की जैसे खिलाते नहीं। अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्। कौन कहते हैं भगवान सोते नहीं, माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं। अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्। कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं, गोपियों की तरह तुम न जाते नहीं। अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्। याद आएंगे उनको कभी ना कभी, कृष्ण दर्शन तो देंगे कभी ना कभी। अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्। अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्। रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्।
श्रीरामाय नमः, रघुनाथाय नमः, नाथाय नमः, सीतापतये नमः। ॐ मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूतमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये। श्रीराम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्रीराम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्रीराम जय राम, जय जय Shri Sita Lakshmana Bharata Shatrugna Hanumat Samet Shri Ramachandraya Namaha Shri Hanumate Namaha. Ram Ram.
Sitaram.
This morning we'll ask a few questions and we'll try to answer them. These are very important questions on the spiritual path. And the first question we would ask ourselves is, what is the definition of God in Hindu Dharma, in Vedic Dharma? It's a very complex question to ask, but we'll try to answer them because we have to find the answers. If we don't find the answers, then what will happen? We will lose faith, we will be distracted, we do not know what is the concept of God, how should we worship God, what are some of the requirements for us in order to become one with Bhagavan. So the first question was the definition of Ishvara. And when I say Ishvara or Bhagavan, you know what I'm talking about, right? It's nicer to use these Sanskrit words. So the answer to this question was the definition of Brahman or Ishvara can be found. We look at one mantra from the Rig Veda and the Suktam number 164. This verse says, Indram Mitram Varunam Agnim Mahuta Ratho Divyam Saparno Garutman Ekam Sadvipra Bahuda Varantyagnim Yama Matarishwara Nahumahuhu. It's a very popular mantra. And this one reality is called Indra, is called Agni, is called Mitra, is called Varuna, is called Garutman. Yama, different names for this one reality. You see, we can never limit Bhagavan to one scripture, one religion, one name, one form. It's not possible in Hindu Dharma. In the Vedic Dharma, Ishvara can never be limited to any name, any form, any way of worshipping. Bhagavan is beyond that. So this one reality has many, many names, many, many forms. And you know, that is why it's difficult for a Western mind to understand this way of worship. That's why when Prabhupada came in the 60s, he had to focus on one avatar, that is the avatar of Bhagavan Krishna. Because the Western mind, they're trained a certain way, they only can see God in one form. Limit God to one name. Limit God to one scripture. But for the Hindu mind, this Ishvara can never be limited to any name and form. So we try to understand that this one reality is not limited to names and form. And now we'll ask another question. Where can Bhagavan be found? We hear so many people talk, when people talk about God, they look up in the sky. Some people believe God get representatives that get wings and flying around. Everybody has their own interpretation. Some people believe in guardian angel, some people believe in different things. Again, from cultural background, from religious background, everyone is allowed to have their own interpretation. But the Vedic interpretation of Ishvara is, where is Ishvara? And the answer can be found in Krishna Yajurveda, Taittiriya Aranyakam, and the mantra says, Yatcha kinchit jagat sarvan drishyate eshruyate piva antar bahischa tat sarvam vyapya narayana sthitaha. The meaning of this mantra is beautiful. Wherever there is in this universe, seen, heard, or pervading, anything you can see, anything, any sound you can hear, anything that you can see that has a form, Ishvara envelopes all of those things, this reality. Within and without. Within me and you and present in this universe and yet beyond. The Purusha Suktam says, Atyatishta Nashangulam. So this reality is within everything. So when we pray, it's a natural thing sometimes for us to look up. We look up. But remember, Ishvara is with you. Within every human being, the spark of divinity is there. And we'll go quickly to answer this question again, where Bhagavan can be found. And in the Ishavasya Upanishad, which is the 40th chapter of the Yajurveda, says, Ishavasya Miram Sarvam Yat Kinchat Jagatyam Jagat, a very popular mantra as well. So this entire universe, whatsoever moves in this universe, including the universe itself, the universe, this, everything moves, right? The earth, everything moves, rotate. And our concept is that the earth is not flat. Only recently they believe or they discovered that earth is not flat. It has a spiral shape. And when you look at this avatar of Varaha, when he saved the planet Earth, you see the ancient South Indian temples, you see that Varaha holding the planet Earth, the shape of a globe as well. A lot of people believe the earth is flat, and when you go, a couple hundred years ago, and you go a certain part, you can fall off from the earth. Some religious traditions still teach that the earth is flat. But whatever is in this universe, as the universe rotates on its axis, that itself, everything within, this reality pervades everything. So Ishava Simiram Sarvam. Bhagavan is within and without everything. So that's why for the Hindu, we can take anything for a murti. If you're doing puja, for example, you're doing Ganesh puja, there's no murti of Ganesha, you can take a supari. You can place it there. The supari, when you do the puja, you can imagine that there is Lord Ganesha in a personal form that you're worshipping. For some individuals, a particular name must be there. And a particular symbol must be there. And God must be worshipped in a certain way only before they can accept. It should not be like that. We have to think out of the box. So everything that you can see within and without Ishvara pervades. That is why it's difficult sometimes for us to wrap our minds around Ishvara, this reality. What is this reality all about? It's order and symmetry that controls everything in this universe. And in the Hindu way of worship, this order, this reality is worshipped in Sagunapasana. That's a personal God. We use the murti, we offer garland, we offer flowers, we offer agarbati, incense, flowers, prasad, everything, arati. And when the mind becomes mature, then we prepare to worship the impersonal aspect of Bhagavan. Right? We can sit and we can imagine this reality pervades everything. Ishvara comes as sunshine. Ishvara comes as snow. He comes as a different season. But unless our mind is, if the mind is not mature, we can't think of Ishvara that way. We're just limiting this reality to a name and a form, sitting somewhere in the skies. Ishvara comes in so many forms. He comes as rain, he comes as sunshine, he comes as the seed in the crops. Because those crops, they grow, there's life, Ishvara is there. Then you and I consume them. That's all his kripa. But before we understand that, the mind has to be prepared to accept Ishvara present within everything and yet beyond. Then if not, then we're going to only limit Ishvara to a name and a form. And that's the problem in the world. I have the best religion. My religion is the greatest. No one else has ways of worshipping God like my religion. Another statement, we'll go from the Katha Upanishad. This reality, where is this reality? This Atma. Anoraniyan mahato mahiyan atma guhyam nihito yasya jantoho. The reality or Ishvara is subtler than the subtlest. Subtler than the subtlest and greater than the greatest. It abides in the cave of the heart, which is a point of reference in all beings. So this reality lives in us, but we can't see the reality. Someone asks you, have you seen the soul? Although the soul is with you, have you ever seen the soul? No, it's not possible. We can't see Atma with our human eyes. We need divine eyes to see Atma. We'll take another verse from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse 20. Aham atma gudakesha sarvabhuta shayastitah aham adischa madhyancha bhutanamantamevacha. Bhagavan says to Arjuna, Aham atma. I am the innermost reality that controls everything. So we're answering this question, where is God, where is Ishvara? The same thing Bhagavan says, I am Atma, O Arjuna. Sarva Bhuta Shastita, I abide in all beings. You know, in certain cultures, there's hate for certain kinds of animals. In certain cultures, there's hate for certain kinds. The pig and dog, for example, in certain cultures, there's tremendous hate for them. Ishvara lives in everything. So for a Hindu, one who has attained Antahakarana Shuddhi, purity of mind, the individual sees Bhagavan present in the pig, in the dog, in the donkey, in the horse, in the chicken. Everything Ishvara is there. We can't limit Ishvara only to human beings. Some people feel that animals do not have soul. In certain religious traditions, animals do not have soul, so they can abuse and they can slaughter and do all kinds of things with animals. Because their belief is that the animals do not have souls. The Vedas say every conscious being has Atma. Bhutanam aham adischa madhyam cha antameva cha. Bhagavan says, I am the beginning, I am the middle, and I am the substratum. The beginning, the middle, and end of everything. I am Atma. Within everything, I am present in this universe as well. Now, a similar question was asked before Sri Ram came as the avatar of Bhagavan Sri Ram. All the Devas were being terrorized by Ravan. Along with Brahmaji and Bhagavan Shiva, they sat in satsang and they asked this question: Where can we find Bhagavan? Where is Bhagavan found? Bhagavan Shiva answered this question again. So we look at many examples from the Krishna Yajurveda, from Ishavasya Upanishad, from Katha Upanishad, from Bhagavad Gita, and we'll take one verse from Ramcharitamanas, now Balkhan. Ag jag mein sab rahit biraki, ag jag mein sab rahit biraki, premate prabhu prakate jin aagi. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. So the Devas asked, where can we find Bhagavan so that we can appeal to him? The same question, it's an age-old question. Where can we find God? Then Lord Shiva says Bhagavan pervades everything, animate and inanimate objects. You know, when you go to the seashore and you look at those rocks, those little pebbles that we pick up, you see how beautiful they're shaped? They're round, oblong, different shapes. They're smooth, some of them are rough. Inanimate objects. You know how many thousands or probably millions of years it took those rocks to have those special shape, because every time the tide came in, it would rub against other rock, and we know how hard rocks are. So how many years it took for them to get that shape? Sometimes we go to the seashore, we find beautiful shape like Shiva Linga, and if you see a beautiful shape of the lingam, you don't want to leave it, you want to take it home. Look how many years it took for those things to shape. Bhagavan is saying, Aga Jagamai, I reside in animate beings and inanimate beings as well. And Bhagavan is revealed when the heart is, Bhagavan is revealed to us when the heart is filled with love. Bhagavan responds to love. So how much love we cherish in our heart and how much love we worship Bhagavan with, in a similar way Bhagavan will answer. And of course, we look at another chaupai, which talks about the heart that has love and faith for Bhagavan. A heart that has love and faith for Bhagavan sees Bhagavan everywhere. Does not limit Bhagavan to any name, any form, any religion. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai जसी प्रीति प्रभुतः प्रगट सदा तेहि रीति। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम
जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम।
जाके हृदय भक्ति जैसी प्रीति. How much love we have in our hearts, in a similar way Bhagavan will bless us. You know, sometimes we sit for meditation, we sit for prayer, we want to express our love, but sometimes there is a barrier. We want to worship Bhagavan with faith and love in our hearts, but sometimes things prevent us. The mind is not purified. The mind becomes distracted. So how much effort we place into our worship, in a similar way Bhagavan will bless us. Prabhutah pragata sada tehiriti. That's the rule. If you approach Bhagavan with a lot of faith in your heart, a lot of love, you prepare to see Bhagavan in everything and in everyone, Bhagavan will eventually reveal himself. We'll see miracles. You know, a lot of people like to see miracle. And all it takes is one person who has some magical powers. We know, due to sadhana, due to worship, due to spiritual practices, tantrikas, for example, people who do tantric puja, and as a result of them developing spiritual powers, you find that they can do some things. They can levitate. They can go put their hands like that and manifest different things. And when we see things like that, we all get carried away. We want to run by, oh, this is the greatest Baba, this is the greatest saint. Right? If we practice, if you want to be like that, you can also be like that with your practice, spiritual practices. But we don't want to show magic. We want to express our love for Bhagavan. Because those things will not last. A lot of people do these things and they gain spiritual powers just to create an impression on others. And those things will not last. Your love for Bhagavan will always outlast those magical powers. So how much love we have in our hearts is in a similar way Bhagavan will respond to us. And in Bhagavad Gita, we are told, chapter 4, verse 11, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam stathaiva bhajamyaham mama vartamanu vartante manushyaha partha sarvashaha. The same thing Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, that howsoever one approaches me, in a similar way I'll bless that individual. How much love is in the heart? In a similar way Bhagavan will bless us. So, when we approach Bhagavan with faith in our hearts, and we are prepared to see Bhagavan everywhere, Gyatva mam shanti michanti. In the 5th verse, number 29, towards the end he says, knowing me and seeing me present in every being, O Arjuna, one attains peace. Gyatva mam shantim mrichati. Such a person who sees me everywhere, who recognizes me comes as the rain, as the sun, as everything in the universe. Such a person attains peace. Because for such a person, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the whole world is one family. There is no time for such a person to hate others, to criticize others. And of course, in the Purusha Suktam, there is another powerful statement. Tameva vidva namrita iha bhavati nanya pantha ayanaya vidyate. One who knows me as Atma, one who knows me as Ishvara that pervades everything. The Purusha Suktam is one hymn or one Suktam that can be found in all 4 Vedas. When we do Puja to Sri Ram on Sundays, we chant part of those mantras from Purusha Suktam. Sahasra Sirisha Purushaha. This reality is not limited to any form, any name. It pervades everything. So there are so many mantras and so many verses from different scriptures we look at this morning to support this point that Ishwar is within you, within me. So one who knows Atma becomes part of Bhagavan. You know, every example is limited. Let us imagine you have a huge magnet in your hand, right? A huge, powerful magnet. And all of us are like little pieces of magnet.
pieces of magnet around. The moment you hold a magnet at a certain angle, it attracts all the other pieces of magnet, all the other pieces of metal. But those metals that have mud around them, that have rust around them, that are corroded, they're not so easily attracted to that magnet. So those magnets that get rust and mud and are corroded is like for individuals who have not purified their heart. They're magnet already, they will be attracted to Bhagavan. But the moment the magnet becomes clean of the mud and muck, it becomes attracted to the magnet, the metal rather. The metal, the moment the metal is clean, it becomes attracted to the magnet. Likewise, when the mind is purified, when we're prepared to see Ishvara here, there, and everywhere, we worship Ishvara, and the whole universe becomes our altar, our place of worship. When the mind has become purified, then you can't help. You become attracted to Ishvara. That's the goal. It sounds easy, but to practice it is a little difficult. When I say a little difficult, I mean like anything else in life. You want to acquire certain things, you want to acquire knowledge, whatever you want to acquire in life, you have to make sacrifice. And if you love something, you love bhajan, you love kirtan, you love your job, you love a particular subject, you will make sacrifices to learn. If and for sometimes people may encourage you to like something. If you don't like it, the interest is not there. So when the interest is in something, to better understand ourselves, then we'll be pulled in that direction to get knowledge. And the moment the heart becomes purified, knowledge comes like a flood of light. So imagine in a dark room and you have a match and you just scratch this match. Just rub it against the sulfur. Prakasha comes, Roshani comes. In a similar way, when the heart becomes purified, knowledge comes like a flood of light. It takes time. But though we find sometimes in the spiritual path, we all complain. I pray, so much I pray, Panditji. I pray, I do so much sadhana, I do so much worship, but I do not see my way. I do not see my way. It takes time. When it's done only for material gain, sometimes we don't see our way in life. When our worship is done only for short-term gain, then what will happen? We'll see some progress, yes, but it is not done for the right purpose. All of these prayers that we do, when it's done without any expectation, it leads to purity of mind. For us to see Ishvara here, there, and everywhere. They see the whole spiritual process is the purity of mind. And it can only be an internal journey. So based on these verses that we looked at this morning, we try to see Ishvara in everything, see Bhagwan in everything. And every day we try to increase our knowledge, grow a little bit more with our devotion, our understanding of Ishvara. Then slowly when the heart becomes purified, we become one with Ishvara. There will be no more bad days, no more confusion, no more enemies, no more difficulties. Life will be so peaceful and happy. We'll sing one bhajan and conclude.
तीन लोक पर राज तिहारा.
Bhagavan is present in this entire universe, east, west, north and south, above, below, everything.
चार खूट तेरा नाम रे.
Everybody sings Bhagavan's praises. Bhagavan has some Sanskrit names, he has some English names, he has some African names, he has some Arabic names. In all languages, in all cultures, in all religions, we worship the same reality. Imagine if we think like this. There'll be no need for us to force our religion on other people, like what happened for the past 2,000 something years. There'll be no fighting in the name of God. And some of us look at that, when we fight on behalf of our God, it is the greatest service we're doing to God. It is the worst thing you can do as a human being, fight for God. Fight in the name of God. If Bhagavan wants this whole universe to follow one religion or one culture, Bhagavan doesn't have to snap his finger. Just think about it and it will be done. It will be done. No, but Bhagavan knows we're all unique. We have different ways of worshipping Bhagavan. So everyone sings his praises. Tu jo kare to hoye, tujhse na duja koi. O Ram, whatever you do, you always do for our betterment, for our good. But we don't see that, Prabhu. We always complain. Bhagavan is not giving me this, not giving me that. I want this, I want that. Then I'll be happy. No material comfort or no material gift can fulfill this inner longing that we have to know who we are. Rakhiyo nazar Shri Ram re, Rakhiyo nazar Shri Ram. Teen lok par raj tihara, char khoot tera naam re. Tu jo kare to hoye, tujh sa na dooja koi. Rakhiyo nazar Shri Ram re, Rakhiyo nazar Shri Ram re. प्रभु तुम्हारे हाथ हजार, प्रभु तुम्हारे हाथ हजार, सदा रखियो लाज हमार। हो तुम हो जगत के स्वामी, हम हैं मूर्ख अज्ञानी। गिरने लगे तो लीजो थाम रे, रखियो नजर श्री राम रे। तीन लोक पर राज तिहारा, चार कूट तेरा नाम रे। तू जो करे तो होए, तुझ सा न दूजा कोई। रखियो नजर श्री राम रे, रखियो नजर श्री राम रे। तोरी रचना सब संसार, तोरी रचना सब संसार। तोरे लीला अपरंपार। हो संकट को ताने तू ही, डूबे उबारे तू ही। दुख भंजन तेरो नाम रे, रखियो नजर श्री राम रे। तीन लोक पर राज तिहारा, चार कूट तेरा नाम रे। तू जो करे तो होए, तुझ सा न दूजा कोई। रखियो नजर श्री राम रे, रखियो नजर श्री राम रे, रखियो नजर श्री राम। रखियो नजर श्री राम. Be prepared to see Bhagavan all over. Never ever try to limit Bhagavan. couple of months ago, I was looking at a religious leader from another religion, and he was on his program, talk show. And, there's so much ignorance, these leaders sometimes. This individual says, that only people who follow his religion can really find God, can really find happiness, can really find peace. Everyone else is lost. We hear that so many. And we have to be prepared to call them out. When people make such silly statements, generally Hindus, we're always calm, peaceful, we're collective. This is part of our swabhav. That is good and that is bad also sometimes, because people take advantage of us and we're not prepared to stand up and state our case, what our culture teaches us, this ancient Vedic way of life, which accepts and respects everyone. So this individual says, only the followers, he wants the entire world to follow his religion. So on the spiritual path, we do not want people to subscribe. We do not force people to subscribe to this particular religion. We do not want membership, so to speak. All of Hinduism is the oldest dharma, the oldest religion. We are the third largest religion in the world. Over 1.5 billion people. Most of them are found in India now, in other parts of the world as well, small communities around the world. And the universal teaching is there. We will never ever force our religion on anyone. So many people from different cultures. In Europe, you'll be amazed to see. In Italy, they have these Bharatnatyam dance group. Gurus from South India, different parts of India, go and teach Bharatnatyam. Have these groups, apart from Hare Krishna, have these groups that gather together. There's one gentleman in the States, his name is Krishna Das, you can Google him. Google him. He went to India in the 60s and he found his guru, Neem Korail Baba, who, this individual was a great devotee of Hanumanji. When Modi ji went to America a couple of years ago, even Steve Jobs told him that he went to the same Hanuman temple when he was having problems with Apple. And he prayed. He went to the temple and he prayed. And look at Apple. Look at the company Apple. One of the most successful companies. And Steve Jobs told, what's the name of the guy for Facebook? Yeah, the owner of Facebook. He was having problems in initial stages of Facebook too. And Steve Jobs told him, go and pray at his temple. The owner for Facebook is, of course, I think he's a Jewish gentleman, I think. And he went and prayed at the temple. Look at that, these companies before. So we do not force people. We do not stamp you in the forehead to go to, we have to talk about these things. When we understand history, we don't want history to repeat itself. To go to English school in India, and even when our foreparents went to around the world, to go to English school, you had to become a Christian to go to English school. If not, you're not allowed. To get a job, that's why so many people change their religion to go to school. Some of them. To go to school, it happened in India. Also, my first Sanskrit Guruji told me those stories. But he's from an Orthodox Brahmin family and they held out. He would not trade his religion. Somehow he got into English school. So the reason I'm talking about this here this morning, for us to know that religion should be a guide for people, should help people along the way. And no one should force anyone to follow any particular religion. At no time people should force and hold a weapon against you. And of course we know so many people were killed in the name of religion and continue to be killed in the name of religion. And we fail to realize that Ishavasam sarvam yat kinchat jagatyam jagat. The same Ishvara pervades everything, and we are fighting on behalf of God. That's what we think. So when you're spiritual, there's no need for us to worry about how many people follow our religion, how much people we can convert into our religion. Try to better yourself. When you better yourself, when the mind becomes purified, then you become a Patita Pavan. You become like Sri Ram to uplift the downtrodden in society. But unless you do not take care of yourself, you can't help others. That's why when you travel in the plane and they say if there is low pressure in the cabin, put your mask on first before you help others. When you're traveling, the air hostess, they will give announcement before. If the pressure in the cabin drops, put your mask on first before you help anyone else. So this spiritual part, before we help anyone else, we have to take care inside what's going on in the heart and the mind. Then we can help anyone else. Bolo Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai, Pavan Sutta Hanuman ki jai. We're going to prepare for Arati, please. Yaccha kinchit jagat sarvam drishyate shruyate piva antarvahishcha tat sarvam vyapya narayanasthita. Om Harihi Om Ishan Vasyamiram Sarvam Yat Kitjam Jagatyam Jagat Namo Narayanaya. Yete Sahasramayutam Pasha Mrityo Martyaya Hantave Tanyagyasya Mayaya Sarva Navayajamahe. Harihi Om Namo Narayanaya. After Arti, there is some Priti Bhoj. My Bhabiji prepared Priti Bhoj. She does it most of the time. So please have some Priti Bhoj, take prasad, and then we'll clean up and we'll be in our way to commence our new week. May Bhagavan bless you, give you strength, give you knowledge, so that the challenges ahead of this week will not be so severe for you. See Ishwar in everything, and He's going to help you to face the challenges. Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. Please stand, come and we'll do Arati. Om Jai Jagdish Hare Swami Jai Jagdish Hare. Bhakt Jano ke Sankat, Bhakt Jano ke Sankat, Das Jano ke Sankat, Kshan mein dur kare. Om Jai Jagdish Hare. Jo dhyave phal paave, dukh bin se man kha. Swami dukh bin se man kha. Sukh sampati ghar aave, Sukh sampati ghar aave, Kashta mite tan ka. Om Jai Jagdish Hare. मात पिता तुम मेरे, शरण गऊ में किसकी. स्वामी शरण गऊ में किसकी. तुम बिन और न दूजा, प्रभु बिन और न दूजा. आस करूं मैं जिसकी. ओम जय जगदीश हरे. तुम पूरन परमात्मा, तुम अंतर्यामी. स्वामी तुम अंतर्यामी. पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर, पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर. तुम सबके स्वामी. ओम जय जगदीश हरे. तुम करुणा के सागर, तुम पालन करता. स्वामी मैं मूरख खल कामी, मैं सेवक तुम स्वामी. कृपा करो हरता.
स्वामी सबके प्राणपति किस विध मिलो दया में किस विध मिलो दया में तुमको मैं कुमति ओम जय जगदीश हरे दीन बंधु दुख हरता तुम रक्षक मेरे स्वामी तुम रक्षक मेरे अपने हाथ उठाओ अपने शरण लगाओ द्वार परम तेरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे विषय विकार मिटाओ पाप हरो देवा स्वामी पाप हरो देवा श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ श्रद्धा प्रेम लगाओ संतन की सेवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे तन मन धन सब है तेरा स्वामी सब कुछ है तेरा तेरा तुझको अर्पण तेरा तुझको अर्पण क्या लागे मेरा ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणौ त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव मन्त्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनार्दन यत्पूजितं मया देव परिपूर्णं तरस्तु मे ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ द्यौः शान्तिः अन्तरिक्षं शान्ति पृथ्वी शान्ति रापः शान्ति औषधय शान्ति वनस्पतय शान्ति विश्वदेव शान्ति ब्रह्मा शान्ति सर्वगं शान्ति शान्तिरेव शान्तसामा शान्तिरेधि गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वर गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः